Hi, my name is Jessica from Period 5. I'll be explaining how to solve for an asymptote. So first, we see that up here, this is going to be our equation, first of all, this right here. Okay, then we're going to see that the exponents is x3 and x2. Since the x3 on top is bigger than the 2, we know that horizontal asymptotes are not going to be part of this. So now we're going to find our slat asymptote by using long division with these two equations. So our problem will be set up as x3 plus 5x squared plus 6x divided by x squared minus 4. Okay, as you see when we try to solve, if we put in an x, it'll obviously turn this into x cubed and negative 4x. But we need an x squared, so we're going to have to add a 0x into this equation, which will then turn into x squared once you multiply it. And we'll have x cubed and negative 4x. So we'll put parentheses around that just so that we know what we're doing when we're subtracting. And then you're gonna distribute the negative into all three of these. So negative 3x squared cubed minus x squared plus 4x. So from here we know that these two cancel out. A 5x squared comes down. And a 10x comes here. So then we're going to put in a 5 up here and go with 5x squared minus 20. These two will cancel out. So your equation will be y equals x plus 5. And what we'll have to do with the equation is subtract the x from both sides. So you'll be ending up with y minus x equals 5. Okay, so this will be our equation because as you see, if we cover the y, it'll be negative x equals 5. So on the negative side of our graph, okay, so for this graph, since it's kind of small, I'm going to do it by 2. So it'll be, 2, 4, 6, 8, so on, going this way and that way, and obviously up and down. So since it's negative x equals 5, so for negative x, it'll be negative 5 on this side. And once we cover the y equals 5, so we'll be going 5 up here. So 2, 4, 5. And with the ruler, well, since I don't have a ruler, I'm going to use a paper and try to do it as neat as possible, but just make a nice, easy line. A dotted line, though. Don't make a whole line. So you should have this on your graph. Next, we will be going to vertical asymptotes. Now for this one, we're going to have to factor out our equation. So if I factor the bottom part, it'll be x plus 2, x minus 2. And our top part will be, let's see, it'll be 6 on top, 5 on the bottom, 2 and 3, so it'll be x plus 2, x plus 3. And since I was able to take out an x, so x will be out here. Okay, so this should be your factored equation. And since these two cancel out, we see that we're going to have a whole, so you'll put x plus 2 into this side. Now for your vertical asymptote, you're going to use this one, and you're going to put x minus 2 equals 0, which will then equal x equals 2. So your equation will be x equals 2. So your limit notations will be as x to the right f of x, and we will find which way it goes with the graph. And as x goes to the left of 2, f of x will be a number. Okay, so what I did here was, well, on my calculator is probably different from yours, but I went onto my documents since I already got this problem down. Okay, let's see. So on this graph, you see that it also goes by 2s on my calculator. My calculator might be different from yours, so you'll probably have, I'm not really sure how your calculator works actually, so all I know is on mine it goes by 2s, and on the fifth one is probably where there should be a line going slanted, going in this direction. And as we see here, it says x equals 2, so there would be a line right here on this first one going up. Since it's a 2, so on this first dot line right here, there should be a line going up and down. And so from there, we're going to see it for our limit notation, it'll be as x goes to the right, it goes up, so it'll be positive infinity, and as x goes to the left, it goes down, so it'll be negative infinity. So going back to the paper, okay, so f of x for going right will be infinity, and as x goes to the left, f of x will be negative infinity. Okay, now going to the wholes, we're going to equal it to 0 and solve. Okay, so now that we've got negative 2, which will be somewhere around here, we're going to solve for our whole, which will be, we're going to use factored one, but without the x plus 2 or x. So we're not going to include this. It's going to be just x times x plus 3 over x minus 2. And what we're going to do is plug in the negative 2 for all the x's. So negative 2 times negative 2 plus 3 over negative 2 minus 2. Oh, times. So, wait, no. It was just minus. Sorry. Scratch that. So it'll be negative 4 over negative 2, which will turn into 1/2. So on our graph, since 2 is right here, and 1/2 is like around here, we're going to put a hole right there. Okay, now we're going to solve for, we're going to do our domain. So our domains, as we saw, were 2 and negative 2. So our interval notations will be negative infinity to negative 2. We're going to do a union sign to combine it with negative 2 to positive 2. Another union sign, and then do 2 to infinity. Okay, now we're going to go into the x-intercepts. So we're going to get our whole equation, our whole factored equation, which will be x plus 2, x plus 3 over x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, and we're going to equal it all to 0. And the bottom one, since it's going to cancel out either way once you bring it up here, so we just won't really worry about this part. We're going to worry up here. So if all of these are equal to 0, we know we'll have a 0, a negative 2, and a negative 3. So those are going to be your points. So on your graph, it will be 0 on 0, negative 2. Well, we found your negative 2 was 1/2, and your 3 would be 0. Yeah. Okay, then we're gonna go into the y-intercepts, and we're gonna just plug in 0 to all the x's that you saw from this one. So it'll be 0, 0 plus 2, and then 0 plus 3, over 0 plus 2, and 0 minus 2. So you should have gotten 0 times 2 times 3 over 2 times negative 2, which will then equal to 0 over negative 4, which is obviously 0 to 0. So that would have been your point, which is obviously still there. Okay, so now we're going to go down here where we'll have to look for our points. So I'm going to get negative 8. And then, wait, did I put this? Oh, did I do this wrong? Oh, sorry. I'm going to do negative 4, negative 3, 0, and 4. And then, since there's 2 of them, we're going to do, for the top one, we're going to do 3, 4, 7, and 12. Okay. Okay, so going back to our graph, we're gonna go, well, I don't know, I think yours might just say table, but for mine I have to go to menu, oh wait, go up to view, go down to show table, and here I can find like all the numbers, so, ooh. Let's see, okay, wait, okay. So now I'm going to look for negative 8, which gives me negative 4. So you're going to want to write that down here. So it'll be negative 8. Okay, now going back up here, we're going to go, oh no, is it, okay. It might look a little blurry, I'm sorry. So for negative 3, do you see it? I don't know if you see it. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a 3 right here. But yeah, it's going to be 0 down here. And as we go up to 0, hey, it's 0. Shocker. And we're going to go more down to 4, which would give us 14. Right? Oh, no, wait. We go to 1, sorry, which would have given us negative 4. That makes more sense. Okay, so that's going to be scratched out. So it'll be 1 and then negative 4. So now going to our graph, we're going to plot these. So for negative 8, will be, oh wait, negative 4 would be here and going down 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait, did I do this right? 4, so 4, negative 3, 0, 0, 0, and then 1, negative 4. Oh, negative 4. Oh yeah, and you should have had a line here on 2, just to block out. so you know where to go. So it's obviously going down here and down here. So we're gonna connect these. Don't go through the hole, just go around it. But just know it's going through it too. And that should have been your first one. Okay, now we're gonna go on the right side. So going back to the graph, we're gonna go down to 3, which gives us 18. So on our paper, we'll write 18 under 3. Then for 4, it gives us 14. Put that on our paper. And then going down to 7, we get 14 again. Write that down. And then we go down all the way to 12 and get 18 here. So we'll write that down. Okay, now we're going to put our calculators aside and go back to our graph. So we're going to go to 3 and go up 18. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then go to 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 1, 7, which is 4, 6, 7 to 14, and then 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up to 18. And we know that this graph is going up. Sorry, I'm bad at graphs. And now we have our points here. So basically, this is how everything should have came out. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.